This is Daniel, a dedicated engineer, a loving husband, and a proud father to his 8-year-old daughter, Marie. His life was centered around his family, especially his wife, Susan, who was his partner through every challenge and triumph. But one ordinary night, everything changed forever. That night, Susan went out to a nearby gas station to fill up the car, something she had done countless times before. But as she stepped inside to pay, a desperate man, armed and frantic, burst through the door. What started as a simple robbery quickly spiraled out of control. Susan stood frozen, trying to avoid the man's attention, hoping to get out safely. But in a tragic twist, a struggle broke out between the robber and the cashier. In the chaos, a single shot was fired. Susan was caught in the crossfire, and in one heart-stopping moment, Daniel lost the love of his life. The call Daniel received that night was the kind that leaves you numb. His wife, his partner, was gone. The woman who had filled his life with love and laughter was taken in an instant, and for Marie, her mother was now just a memory. Marie, their 8-year-old daughter, lost not just her mother but her sense of safety and stability. She couldn't understand why her mom had been taken from her, and the once warm and loving home now felt empty and cold. Daniel was suddenly thrust into the role of a single dad, responsible for Marie's every need, while struggling to hold himself together. The man who once designed buildings now found himself lost in the simplest tasks, each one a painful reminder of Susan's absence. He wanted to be strong for Marie, but the weight of his grief was overwhelming. Thankfully, Daniel didn't have to face this alone. His childhood friends, Jeff and Greg, along with their wives, Elizabeth and Lauren, knew that Daniel and Marie needed them now more than ever. Together, they decided to step in, not just as friends, but as family. Elizabeth and Lauren took Marie under their wing, understanding her unique grief. They became motherly figures in her life, inviting her over to play with their kids, listening to her, and providing the emotional support she needed. In their company, Marie began to find a sense of comfort and belonging. Jeff and Greg were there for Daniel every step of the way. They didn't try to push him to move on or pretend that everything was okay. Instead, they offered him a chance to escape, inviting him to sporting events where he could forget, just for a while, the weight he was carrying. They gave him a space to release his stress, to breathe, to feel like himself again, surrounded by the friends who knew him best. In those moments, Daniel was reminded that he wasn't alone, and that even in the hardest times, there could still be glimpses of joy and normalcy. As time went on, Jeff and Greg invited Daniel and Marie to small gatherings, to group hikes, and to family dinners. With each act of support, they showed Daniel and Marie that life could still hold joy. They created a community, one that gave Daniel and Marie the strength to carry on. Through the power of friendship and family, Daniel and Marie began to heal. Marie's laughter slowly returned, and Daniel found comfort in knowing he didn't have to carry his pain alone. His friends and their families created a network of support, bringing light back into his and Marie's lives. In times of unimaginable loss, it's the community we build that holds us up. Daniel's story is a reminder of the importance of friendship, family, and being there for one another. Through the love and support of those around him, he found a way to rebuild, to heal, and to carry on.